channels of distribution, they smoothen the flow of goods by creating of possession, place and time utilities. The choice of appropriate channels of distribution is a very important marketing decision which affects the performance of an organization. In this product related factors, we should understand what is the type of product which is being distributed. Hello everyone, welcome to the next session of this chapter marketing. I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence. In this session 6 on marketing, I will be having a discussion on the physical distribution of goods and services. Now, what do we mean by physical distribution? We all know. Now, let us look into the various channels of distribution. Now, first thing is, the channels of distribution smoothens the flow of goods by creating possession, place and time utilities. Now, whenever we have produced lot of goods and services, but then we have to see that they are marketed. Now, suppose you have produced lot of goods here in Mysuru, but then you have to sell it all over India. Then we have to have contacts all over India. Now, this contacts of distribution, that is, you will be contacting the wholesaler, one in Delhi, other one in Kashmir, or one more in Assam, one in Madhya Pradesh, one in Gujarat, or one in Andhra Pradesh. So here you will have to contact all these wholesalers who will be ready to accept whatever you are ready to sell. So you, in other words, you will have to see that you create a network of agents or you create a network of wholesalers through which you will be selling your products. Now, this network of distribution is what we call as the channels of distribution. Now, channels of distribution, they smoothen the flow of goods by creating of possession, place and time utilities. So, we all know that whenever goods are produced on a large scale and they are stored in the godown, they will not be of any use to anybody. So, these goods have to be sold in the market and people have to consume the goods and they have to come back for repeat purchases. So, in order to see that these goods are sold all over the country or all over the world, we need to have time, place and possession utilities. Now, this time, place and possession utilities will be provided through the various channels of distribution. So, these channels of distribution, they will ensure that there is a smooth flow of goods from the place of production to the places of consumption. So, they facilitate movement of goods by overcoming various time, place and possession barriers that exist between the manufacturers and the consumers. Now, if a person wants a particular product, he cannot go and contact the manufacturer. So, he will go to his nearest retail shop. So, if it is available there, he will be able to buy it. So, the manufacturer has to ensure that his products reach almost all the retail shops in time so that whenever there is a demand for the product by the consumer, it can be very easily. So, these various channels of distribution help in the flow of goods from the place of production to the place of consumption. Now, let us see what are the important functions of distribution. So, before we look into the functions of distribution, we have to analyze the importance of the wholesalers, the agents, etc. Now, as I told you earlier, the place of production may be very far and the goods have to be transported to all parts of the world. Now, whenever we have to sell the goods throughout the nation or throughout the world, then we need to have a contact with the prominent wholesalers of that particular region, and through these wholesalers we will be just selling the goods to the ultimate consumers. Now, suppose there is a consumer who wants to buy 4 types of products. Now, let us understand the meaning of the word channel. So, channel refers to a group of persons or intermediaries who are in contact with almost all kinds of manufacturers, and they ensure that they buy all sorts of goods. They buy an assortment of goods from various manufacturers and they assemble it in their shops. So in this way, they can just meet the needs of the customers. So whatever the quantity is being asked by the customer and whatever is the combination of goods asked by him, they will all be provided in his shop. So we should understand that channels of distribution are nothing but groups of people who help in the free flow of goods from the producer to the ultimate consumer. So it may be the wholesaler, the retailer, or the agent, etc. Or in other words, he is an intermediary who is link between the wholesaler, or who is a link between the manufacturer and the consumer. Now, if you can understand this, now let us go into the detail of how important these intermediaries are. Now, suppose there is a consumer who wants to buy sugar, who wants to buy a bulb, who wants to buy coffee, and who wants to buy ink. Now, these four things are manufactured by four different people. Like sugar is something which is eatable, and then we have this bulb which is an industrial product, and then we have this coffee again which is an agricultural product, and ink is a stationary item. Now, for all these four, if there were no any manufacturers or there were no wholesalers to or a general merchant to sell all these products under one shop, then this consumer had to go to four separate shops to buy these products. So, which would have been a very cumbersome task. But then, whenever we have a retail shop in it, so he will be having a combination of all these things in his shop, which will ensure that the consumer will have a convenience of shopping. Now, the consumer can just go and shop for all these products under one shop, where the general merchant will be having everything. He will be having sugar, he will be having coffee, he will also be selling bulb and also the stationery products like ink. So in this way, this intermediary called the general merchant or the retailer, so he will be assembling all the products under his shop to ensure that the customers have convenience of shopping. So whatever they demand for, it will be there in his general store and it will be immediately sold to the customer. So we should understand that intermediaries are very important for the flow of goods from the producer to the ultimate consumer. And until the goods reach the consumer's hand, it is still a manufacturer cannot get a return on his investment. So until the product is sold and the money is just exchanged between the buyer and the seller, the sale does not take place, and hence it is necessary for the manufacturer to ensure sales of every product which he produces. Now, let us look into what are the various functions of distribution channels. Now, the important functions performed by middlemen are sorting. Now, what do we mean by sorting of goods? If you can see the picture here, they are having a sorting of all the similar colored beads here. Now, in the same way, whenever a manufacturer or a wholesaler, he has ordered a purchase of large type of products, then he will resort to sorting of such products. So, based on the size of the product, based on the quality, the size, shape, etc., he will just sort the products and assemble it in a convenient manner. So, once the sorting is done, it will be easy for him to sell the products at various prices based on the size and quantity, etc. Then, second one is accumulation. Now, what do we mean by accumulation? Now, once he has just ordered the goods and the goods have reached his shop, then he will be accumulating the products in homogeneous quantities. Like he will be just accumulating the products of one particular brand in one part of the shop. That is, he will see that they are properly arranged in his godown and then ensure that all the particular brands will be under one arrangement, and in this way then homogeneous stocks are arranged in one particular manner so that it will be easy for him to sell it whenever it is demanded by the customer. Now, the next important function of this channels of distribution is allocation. Now, what is this allocation? In allocation, manufacturer or or the wholesaler, he will be breaking down the homogeneous stock, whatever he has accumulated, into convenient products, that is convenient for sale. Or he has purchased 100 bags of sugar, then he will be making packets of 1 kg of sugar, so that it will be easy for him to handle it whenever there is a sale of sugar. So he will be breaking down that large packet into small convenient packets, so that it will be easy for him whenever there is a sale of that product. So that is what we mean by allocation. Then next one is assorting. Now what is this assorting? Suppose we have a cricket player and he wants an accessories of all the cricket things, whatever he needs. Now he may need a cricket bat, a cricket ball, a headgear, gloves, wickets, ball, etc. Now all these things, and even the shoes. Now all these things cannot be manufactured by one single manufacturer. So there will be lot of manufacturers who will be manufacturing different things. This wholesaler or the retailer, he will just accumulate all these things, make a combination of it, and then he will be selling in his output. Like we have these shops which sell sales of sports materials, so they will be just selling those things by creating an assortment of all the goods which are needed by the cricket players. So they try to assort various things and sell the product. Now let us look into the next function of distribution channels, that is the product promotion. Now what do we mean by product promotion? In other words, you try to advertise for the product. So whatever product you have received from the manufacturer, the wholesaler or the retailer, he will be engaged in promoting the product. Now how will he promote the product? It may be through massive slogans, or he may have a display of the products, so window dressing and window display, etc., through which he will be trying to attract the customers to buy the product. So in this way he will be trying to promote the product, and as a result of which he will be boosting the sales of that particular product. Then next one is negotiation. Now here we should understand this middlemen or the wholesalers, they will be dealing with the manufacturers on one hand, and on the other hand the customers. So in negotiation part, we should understand that these channels of distribution, they negotiate with the customers the price of the product, the quality of the product, the terms and conditions of the product, after sales services, etc., to see that there is an easy transfer of ownership between the producer and the consumer. Then the last one function of distribution channel is risk taking. Now what do we mean by risk taking? Here the channels of distribution, they will undertake the risk of the product. So whenever they are purchasing the product from the manufacturer in a large scale, there will be a transfer of ownership to their name, and then they will be just assuming the burden of risks also. So if there were no wholesalers, or if there were no agents to just sell the goods, all the risk would have to be borne by the manufacturer or the producer itself. Now whenever there is a shift of risk from the producer to the wholesaler, the producer is assured that he will be getting back his investment almost immediately whenever the wholesaler purchases his entire products. So as a result of which, the risk will have to be borne by the distribution channels. Then let us discuss about what are the various types of distribution channels. Now there are various types. In this, the first type is the direct channel. Now in this direct channel, we have the goods which are manufactured by the manufacturer. They will be going directly to the customer. Now what kind of goods will be just sold through this direct channel? So goods of very high value, so they will be sold through direct channels. Then also we have the industrial products. So some goods which are used by the industries, like the spare parts or assembling of the small items like the nuts, bolts, etc. So they will be just manufactured exclusively for industrial use. Now these products can be sold by the manufacturer directly to the customer, that is the maker of those products. So the industrial products usually they will be marketed through this channel of communication, that is direct channels. In addition to this industrial products, we also have these perishable goods. Now what are perishable goods? Those goods which get deteriorated very fast. It may be milk, vegetables, etc. Or so all these things, they have to be marketed very fast or sold very fast, and they have to reach the hands of the consumer before they are deteriorated. So for such goods, probably we'll be using this direct channel of communication, that is the direct channel of distribution, that is directly from the manufacturer to the customer. So the perishable goods and the industrial goods, they will be directly transferred from the manufacturer to the customer. Or even if we can go in for consumer durables, so goods of very high value, so that is consumer durables. So all these things, they will be directly sold from the manufacturer to the consumer. So it may be through the mail order selling, or it may be through the internet, or it may be through the online selling. So through all these modes, they will be just reaching the customer and they will be selling their products. So we should understand that depending on the type of the product, we can make use of the channels. Then the next types of channels of distribution is indirect channel. So in this indirect channel, we have three types, that is manufacturer, retailer and the customer. Then in the second type, we have manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer and the customer. And in the third type, we have the agent, wholesaler, retailer and the customer. Now let us look into this first type. What is this? Manufacturer, retailer and customer. Now this manufacturer, retailer and customer, this type of a channel is used for those goods which are very high value. For example, the Maruti Udyog Limited, it will be selling it through its retail outlets. So the manufacturer will have his own retail outlets in almost all the places, so that he will be seeing that there is maximum sales through this retail outlets. So this retail outlets will be maintained by the manufacturer itself, and he sees that the cars are sold through these outlets. Now, the next indirect channel is manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer and consumer. Now, this channel is generally resorted to for fast moving consumer goods or the convenience goods. So, though it may be used for transport or for distribution of the soaps, toilet soaps and all those things which we use in our daily lives. So, the manufacturer will sell it to the wholesaler. From the wholesaler, it goes to the retailer and then to the ultimate consumers. So, this is usually done for convenience goods which are of very low value, but they have massive consumption. That is, they are the day-to-day essentials of the consumer. Then, next, in this third channel, we have the manufacturer, agent, wholesaler, retailer and consumer. Now, in this, we can see that, for example, the ACC cement. Now, this cement, the manufacturer, they will be selling it to their own authorized agents, from where it will be sold to the wholesaler and then to the retailer and then to the ultimate consumer. Now, these agents, they will be representing the manufacturer and they will be the exclusive agents of that particular product, and this kind of channel is used when the company does not have a very vast product line. So, it will be manufacturing only one kind of product, and then this kind of a channel can be used. So, in this way, through these various channels of distribution, we can ensure that there is physical distribution of goods from the producer to the seller. Now, let us look into, again we have the chart of the distribution of marketing channel here. So, under direct marketing channel, we have the producer to the customer, and here producer to the business customer. That is, this is in case of industrial goods, or where the goods are used as raw materials in assembling of the products. Now, in this indirect marketing channel, again we have three types, that is from the producer to the retailer, and from the retailer the goods move to the consumer. So, this is used for So very costly products, we can make use of this channel. Then next we have here one more channel from the producer to the wholesaler, the retailer and the customer. So this kind of a channel is used for fast moving consumer goods. And then lastly we have the producers, distributors and the business customer. So this is where the product line is limited. So in this case we use this channel of distribution. So whenever you have this different channels of distribution, we should understand that there are two important channels. One is direct, one is indirect. So under direct we have two types, under indirect we have three types. Now let us look into what are the factors determining the choice of channels of distribution. So the choice of appropriate channels of distribution is a very important marketing decision which affects the performance of an organization. Now, why do we say that it affects the performance of an organization? Because it is only through these channels of distribution the company will be reaching the ultimate consumer. So, until the product reaches the consumer, it is not a success. So, we have to take important decisions relating to the decision about the marketing channels. So, whether the firm will adopt direct marketing channels or long channels involving a number of intermediaries, it is a strategic decision. So, what kind of a decision he should take? So, that will depend on a lot of factors. So, let us see what are the various factors which affect these decisions. Now, factors determining choice of channels of distribution. In this, the first factor is the product related factors. Now, in this product related factors, we should understand what is the type of product which is being distributed. Suppose if it is a perishable product, then a shorter channel of distribution is advisable. But if it is a consumer durable, then we can make use of longer channels. And if it is an industrial product also, we should make use of the direct channels. And then if it is something consumer products which are most widely used, then we can go in for longer channels of distribution. So depending on the type of product, we have to decide about the channels of distribution. So the nature of the product and the type of product it is, so they all go in deciding about what is the channel of distribution. Next important factor affecting the channels of distribution is the company characteristics. Suppose the company is financially very strong, then it can always invest in retail outlets. So through its own retail outlets, it can always sell the products. But then if you have to open a retail outlet throughout all the markets wherever the company's products are sold, then it will need huge investment on the part of the producer. So we have to, if we have to ensure that we want to have a retail outlet, then we should be able to make a heavy investment in retail outlets. But then if the producer or the manufacturer does not want to have greater control over the middlemen or the channels of distribution, then he can just sell those goods to any of the wholesaler or the retailer or the agent, and as a result of which he will be immediately getting the return on his investment and the goods will be ultimately sold to the ultimate consumer. So next, the company characteristics means we have to think about the financial strength of the company. If the company is financially very strong, then it can make a heavy investment in retail outlets through which it will sell its products. But then if it does not have that financial strength, then it can always make use of its agents and the wholesalers through whom it can sell its products. Then the next one is the competitive factors. Now, in this competitive factors, we should understand that what is the channel used by the competitors. Suppose we have a close rival to our product, then we have to closely observe what is the channel through which the rival manufacturer is just selling the products. Then we can resort to the same way or we can go to a different way. So, whenever the competitive factors come into force. We have to take strategic decisions so that our product gives a very good fight to the rival products. Then next one is the market factors. Now in this market factors, we have to see what is the size of the market and what is the geographical distribution of the market. So depending on the size and the geographical area of distribution, so we have to make the choice of distribution. Suppose the market is very far away, then we have to ensure that there is only one channel, that is the direct channel. But if the market is very near, then we can go in for longer channels. So depending on the distance also, we can decide about the various marketing channels. Then the last one is the environmental factors. The environmental factors like the political, social and the legal factors, they also play an important role in the choice of decisions. So whenever if you want to have a very economical channel of distribution, then you go in for a shorter route. But then, so it all depends on the various play of other factors of channels of distribution. So hope you have all understood this session on factors and or channels of distribution. Thank you.